Good morning, Bruce Hafner, the Penguin and Plymouth News Shopper, hovering over the DPS Ranger helicopter. We got Scott Clifton, pilot at the controls, as they hoist down a rescuer to get to two hikers that got stranded in the Superstitions last night. They came in last night with that helicopter and dropped off two rescuers to spend the night with those guys who were stuck on the ground, and basically, stabilize them, make sure they were safe, keep them warm all night long with their supplies they brought up. And right now, dropping down the gentleman to wrap a hoist around them, and they're going to lift them up into the Ranger helicopter and off the side of the Superstition Mountains, and they'll be able to take the easy route down. So that's what it looks like from the Penguin and Plymouth News Shopper. We're waiting for the Ranger to come back in here and then rescue this gentleman right here is the first one. To the top part of the screen, he's got a harness wrapped around him, and we'll be seeing him flying through the air here coming up. Good morning, Arizona, from the Penguin and Plymouth News Shopper.
Hey, Bruce, quick question for you. We wanted to stay on this for just a moment, and you know this full well. Can you talk about the skill of the DPS pilot, Scott Clifton, when they do these rescues?
Yeah, I can, Scott, because look at this right here. Here he is. He's backed off from the rescuers, waiting for his opportunity to go in. And you see the rescuer out there on the skid of the helicopter with the hoist system, where he will drop that hoist. These guys are moving in now. You heard them.
Chief 3, copy.
We are going to watch them go on in. They're dropping the hoist down, as you see that right there, Scott. And they're basically going in right now, so we're going to watch this live on TV. That's an incredible aircraft. They've just bought that helicopter, brand new one for the Arizona Department of Public Safety, the DPS helicopter, a twin-engine helicopter, perfect for these kind of operations, which, there's an inherent risk in what they're doing here, hovering low over mountains. And so you've got two engines to make sure it is safe for them. And that helicopter is full of all the latest gadgetry, electronic equipment, everything they need to do this in the most safe way we can possibly do this.
How are conditions, Bruce, as far as the wind goes right now?
Yeah, the winds are really nice right now. Everybody's happy. All of us up here in helicopters are enjoying the smoother, the lower winds up here in the mountain. And here we go. This gentleman, he's about, once again, ready to get the ride of his life up into that Ranger helicopter as he comes in, hovers over the scene, and he'll be dropping the hoist down there. Let's see where that hoist line is. Going down. Okay, I see it going down. You see that black line going down right there. There's the hook. They're going to hook this hiker up who spent the night out here. Two male hikers up here spent the night, and boy, what a way to get down the mountain, huh, Scott?
Hey, Bruce, you see the breeze there. Is that from the helicopter, or how are the conditions out there, and how will winds or anything else out there affect this?
Yes, that's the rotor wash from the helicopter hovering. There they go. They've got them hooked up. They're going to take the line out a little bit, and we'll watch this gentleman once again get the ride of his life as they lift him off of the Superstition Mountains out here. And this is east of Apache Junction. And once again, all the agencies have here he goes, lifting him off the ground with that hoist.
Wow.
And let me show you. There he goes flying. He's Superman at this point.
You're right about that. It is a wild ride. How far away to the landing zone, you think?
You know, he's not far at all, Scott. He's at the base of the mountain here, and they've got another line attached to him to kind of stabilize them as they pull him off the mountain, and they'll let that go here in a few. And now this guy, once again, what they'll do is they'll hoist him up into the helicopter, get him into the helicopter, and then fly him down to a base station here. And you see him, he's getting close to the helicopter right now as we speak. This is the way to do it. This is textbook for these guys. They train and train and train. And Scott Clifton, a friend of ours, he used to fly CBS 5's helicopter back in the day. So I used to share the skies with him with the News Chopper 3 at the time. He's an awesome pilot. He transferred over to the DPS, and now he's a DPS officer and a pilot.
Wow, this looks like it's going very well, Bruce. What did you hear about these two hikers? I know you said they were stranded overnight, two men. I assume or hope that they had the supplies that they needed to survive the night. Fairly chilly last night, a little wet out there too.
Right, and what they do is they come in, they probably got a cell phone call from these two gentlemen saying, look, we're kind of stranded on the top of the mountain, it got dark on us, we can't find the trail down, and so at that point the DPS will tell them, okay, stay where you are, and here he goes getting him into the helicopter safely. He says, stay where you are, we'll come on out there with our crews. They came in last night, Scott Clifton and these rescuers came in last night and dropped off at least 2 rescuers with equipment, with blankets and food and everything they needed to do to spend the night on the mountain down here. And so they've been spending the whole night down in this area and waited for the Ranger helicopter to come back at daylight. So they're hooking up the other guy. He's going to take the next fun ride up into this helicopter. They'll take them both down the mountain, down to the park down here at the Superstition on the Flatiron side of the mountain, the side that faces the valley. And there you go. He's in safely. Very happy, I'm sure. And that's how they do it. So once again, these guys probably called them on the cell phone and said we're stuck. And so now at this point, that's when the DPS got involved and brought their rescuers out.
Well, it's a job well done. Scott Clifton, the pilot, excellent job. And of course, the other rescuers. And they train all the time for things like this, don't they, Bruce?
Yeah, Scott, let me ask Scott Clifton if he can talk. He's flying a helicopter around. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to respond, but let me see what he has to say. Hey, Scott, we're on TV. You got a second?
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, last night you brought him in and dropped him off in the dark. That was pretty heavy duty.
It was dark last night. We were under NVGs, got rescuers down here to stay with them overnight. Came in first flight here, got one on board, and getting ready to bring the second one up now.
Copy, thanks a lot. That's Scott Clifton flying that helicopter right there. Once again, an awesome pilot, one of our buddies. And just a little side note, Scott Clifton puts on that spooktacular balloon festival at the Talking Stick Salt River Fields area every year. He's also a very accomplished balloonist.
That's right. And his dad, Jerry Clifton, was the pilot for 3TV a long time ago before you were, Bruce. So they definitely have some pilots in that family. But so cool. Thank you for that shot and for him to be able to talk like that while he's doing his job. I mean, the precision work is just incredible. Yeah,
now we're seeing the second guy.
Exactly.
Get ready to be rescued as well. You got to wonder how the conversation goes of who goes up first.
Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah, really.
But
they flipped the coin.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're both so happy to see those rescuers and to get off the mountain after a long, cold night. So we'll stay with this, Bruce, until they get the second person off the mountain. Hopefully they're okay, right. And probably just have some advice for others not to go out hiking and get stuck out there late at night, that's for sure.
Yeah, it happens. We're out here all the time on these things, and the smartest thing you can do if you have a problem is stay where you are and call the rescuers. They do this and train for this all the time. And it looks like here he comes, the second guy, you guys, being lifted up into the helicopter.
You know, these guys will go home today and say, hey, what'd you do at work today? Well, I did something interesting. What did you do?
That was me on the news
this Valentine's Day
Hey,
gift.
there he goes.
Yeah, really.
Dressed in red safety helmet and everything. So little pause there. But yeah, it is fantastic to watch. And think about the countless hours of training that goes into making sure that this looks as easy as it does.
Yeah, they do make it look easy. And sometimes this is interesting because they hoist them up and put them in the chopper right there because there's 2 of them. Sometimes if there's just one and if they're injured, they'll fly them hanging off the bottom of that cable. Until where they land, but pretty interesting rescue. But just a job well done by the DPS chopper and Scott Clifton up there and all the rescuers. Really amazing. And Bruce, the coverage and the shot from your helicopter is amazing. Thank you for that.
You bet. Thanks a lot. And boy, two guys safe due to the efforts of the Arizona Department of Public Safety this morning.
Valentine's dates will happen this evening thanks to that good work. So thanks for bringing that to us. Someone's going to get a phone call.
You betcha.
Sweetie, I'm fine. I will be there for dinner at 6 p.m.
I'm okay. Bruce, thank you again.